All right. What is going on, everybody? Welcome on back to the Cinema Lords podcast. This is going to be our Rings of Power episode 8, the finale of season 2 recap, and then we're going to also be reviewing season 2 as a whole. So we'll probably try to move through the recap a little bit faster than we normally do this week, just so that we can do an overarching review at the end too. But I'm joined again, same crew as last week. Luke, Seth, boys, what's going on? Welcome back.
Doing good. Good to have the crew back again. Let's go.
Yeah, good to be back. Good finale too.
Yeah,
taking a big victory lap at one point. I nailed something on the dot last episode.
Oh yeah,
and it came to fruition.
Yep.
I'll be taking a victory lap at some point today. I just want to let you guys know.
No, it's going to be well deserved because you're absolutely right. But like you said, I'm excited to talk about tonight's finale because I thought it was pretty damn good too. Before we get there, though, real quick, this is going to be our last episode rundown for a while. After this, which I'm not going to lie, I'm pretty excited about because we've been banging through since like the spring. But after this, kind of like going to be slowing down until like the new year, which is going to be nice. Like we're going to do Penguin and Agatha next week, which will be like a mid-season thing. Luke, again, if you're down to do that.
Yeah, I'll catch up on that. I got some work to do, but
Penguin's phenomenal.
So I've heard.
Penguins.
I only watched the premiere was awesome. I haven't watched anything else.
I didn't get around to this week, but 2 for 2.
Okay, I'm gonna get through that. But yeah, we're gonna do a midpoint for that, and then a closing point for that. So that's 2 shows. I have one other one in October that I'm trying to keep under wraps that I'm working on that I think is gonna be very cool. But then aside from that, I'm gonna do like a Gladiator 2 review. But this is very limited, so it's gonna be nice to take a little bit of not a break, but slow things down for a little bit until.
I know you'll be reviewing that Christmas movie too.
Oh, the red one?
Yeah.
That movie looks fucking incredible. Oh my god, I'm so. You know what? You're absolutely right. I will pop in here as soon as I leave, and I'll come in. I'll be like, that movie was fucking amazing. Greatest movie of all time. You seen the trailer for that?
I don't think so.
Oh, J.K. Simmons is Santa Claus. The Rock is like his like lead elf, it seems like, but he's not like an elf. He's the Rock. Like he's still
6'5".
Yeah, exactly. Chris Evans is in it. The fucking dude. It looks.
They kidnap Santa Claus.
Nice.
And it's the Rock and shit. And Chris Evans finding him.
It looks fucking fantastic.
I hope it is fantastic. That sounds good.
I think it's like the week before Thanksgiving, I want to say.
Yeah, somewhere in there.
So yeah, that'll be another one. I'll probably review that.
It's already like 6 weeks out.
Yeah, it's crazy. I love that. But yeah, only a few more shows left. I mentioned doing another draft in November. I already scrapped that. Yeah, we're going to be putting off draft will probably be February for probably rom-coms. And then the next episodic thing's probably going to be The Last of Us, I would imagine. Because that's supposed to come, I think, in either February or March.
Wow.
So that'll probably be the next like weekly episodic rundown.
There's some movies you can throw into along the way.
Yeah, no,
for
sure.
You know,
I'm going to pop in for quick.
You can do a Venom,
Maybe.
Depending how much you want to do.
We'll see. Like I was planning on going and see The Joker, and now I'm probably not going to.
My God, dude. Holy smokes. That movie's getting destroyed.
I've only seen the reviews. I haven't seen it
Demolished.
That movie's getting destroyed.
Demolished. Which is crazy, too, because the first one was like the highest grossing R-rated movie of all time until Deadpool and Wolverine. It made like $1 billion worldwide. And now this one's just like totally flopped on its face. It's going to make no money. And fucking Todd Phillips is coming out and just being a fucking total cunt. He was just like, I wanted nothing to do with this, but fucking they basically like made me come back. They said he would refuse to work with James Gunn in any capacity.
Yeah, he didn't want DC involved whatsoever.
Yeah.
He said, but it did, from what the reviews are, it was kind of like the studio jammed the sequel down his throat, and he was just like, all right, here you go. And like not intentionally made it dog shit, but it seemed like he kind of made it dog shit intentionally.
Seems that way.
Sabotage.
But either way, like I said, gonna be. I'm looking forward to getting this episode out of the way and not having to do these for a while.
Yeah, you've earned a break. You've earned a break.
Tedious. All right, so let's get into it. Episode 8, the finale. The title I did not run down, but Luke did.
Shadow and Flame.
Thank you, sir. We're gonna open things up right away. I liked this because most of the time with this show, we open up right away with the credits. For the most part, right away. Finale week, we don't do that. We go to an actual cold open, and I'm like, oh shit, like things are about to pop off. And that's exactly what happened. Right out of the gate. Like right out of the fucking gate, we're going. We found out last week that the dwarves pulled back their attack. They were going to go help out. And they ended up going back to Khazad-dûm. And sure enough, we see Durin, and he's like going to go talk to Pops. And Pops is literally using a big-ass fucking
Battering
ram. There you go. Yeah, they try and cave through this mine wall or whatever. And
Just by himself too.
Yeah, for real.
By himself used it.
For real. Not a single, even his little Kingsguard guys that I was talking about last week, fucking couldn't even get them to come and help.
Nobody's helping him.
Yeah, and Disa was like tending to some wounded people just outside of there too. So
Yeah.
he got through the last defenses. All
Yeah.
these desperate people begging him not to dig any deeper, but not gonna listen.
Not right now, at least. Not right now. So fucking Prince Durin's just going to be like, yo, Pops, like, take off the ring, please. Dad's going to say no. And then he begs him to. And again, his dad's like, nah. So then goes back to hammering, plunges through the wall. And we saw a little bit in the finale of last season. But inside of this basically fucking huge cave, a cavern, all just mithril mountains fucking everywhere.
Yeah, like paradise and mithril everywhere.
Like, looks really pretty.
Yeah.
Looks
Yeah,
fucking
dude.
very, very cool.
Right. He was pumped for a minute there.
Yeah, he really was for like a whole whopping like 2 seconds.
Yeah.
And then we see the Belrog. Belrog for the first time since last season, the finale, we see him like on the fucking screen. And as cool as he looks in the Fellowship of the Ring, which he looks like really cool in it, he looked even cooler in this.
Yeah.
Like he looked so fucking clear. It was awesome.
They didn't shy away from it.
No.
They didn't shy away from throwing
They
some
put-
special effects in there.
Yeah, they put it like in your face. They're like,
Yeah.
yo, like look at this.
Yeah.
It
yeah,
was.
because you're looking directly, like me looking at Luke is how they shot it. Like just looking directly at him.
Yeah, it was sick.
It was very, very, very fucking cool.
Like when it was like scrambling up the cliffside and like had to dig its sword like into the rock and like seems like it kind of has wings, but the wings were like shadow smoke instead of like the fire. So like I don't even know if it's like conjuring the wings.
You really only saw like his top half.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And like the front of his top half too. So yeah.
really well done.
Yeah.
In a like tight like tunnel too coming down, so those wings might not even be able to like,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? He might just be fucking trapped in there. Not
Yeah.
trapped, but too tight to move.
Seems like it. Yeah.
But anyways, as soon as this happens, the king finally pops the fucking ring off. I don't know exactly why. I mean, I guess finally he just realized like, oh shit, I fucked up.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I thought it was kind of weird that he was all of a sudden just like, all right, fuck this thing, and then makes kind of a funny move in my opinion. Just like runs, jumps off this cliff right at this thing with his axe, like somehow, some way, like he's gonna single-handedly like bring it down.
Yeah. I think he just wanted the dwarves to have access to this amount of mithril. Like that was his overall thing. Is that he wants them to be like the most valuable group in this whole thing, and he knows like that's the epitome of it. So once he finally busts through and like and shows
like
Durin
fulfilled.
that right, like that was the peak for him, and he's like, yeah, you know, this is all yours, have it. I don't know if he was expecting
Calls
about.
him
You're welcome.
king.
I don't know if he was
Calls him king.
expecting to see the Balrog be there or not, but he was like, you know, he's not shying away from it.
I just think of the scene in Two Towers when Gimli's like, "You're gonna have to toss me." I'm like, these dwarves, they're not exactly jumpers.
You're right.
They're not exactly.
I know that was a pretty heroic leap.
And he does the same thing with the whip like he did with Gandalf, like grabbing him in the
yeah.
leg and tripping
Yeah.
him down.
Yep.
Go-to move.
Yeah.
Working on it for thousands of
Like,
years.
tormenting him, you know.
Getting ready for Gandalf.
Yeah. This wasn't my first rodeo, bro. I've done this before.
Yeah.
But the other thing I thought that was pretty funny about this is not just he like jumps off like he's gonna fucking one-on-one superhero this guy, but all of a sudden out of nowhere comes Disa and like two of the other miners as like Durin's like trying like, you know, the typical like, no, Dad. These fucking three people all of a sudden just come out of absolute nowhere and just like hold them back. It's just like,
Yeah.
were you guys like literally behind the wall, like right there, just like listening in, and then like popped in at the last second? Because like there were seconds that happened. Like if you guys are at the top of this mind,
Wait until he leaps at the Balrog.
for real. I just thought that was funny though. They just came out of nowhere super quick. I was just like, wow, y'all fast.
Yeah. And then they also kind of made it seem like the Balrog is now contained again, even though it was just like
Yeah.
Yeah, everything
a few
kind of
feet of rocks.
collapses, right?
Like, I don't know. I feel like that's a pretty powerful being. He could probably get out of there if he wanted to, but I guess we'll let it rest for now, see if he comes back again anytime soon.
I would love there to be some magic involved in there.
Right.
Like you just said, I would
Trapping
very
him in there.
much, yeah, I would very much like that. If like the Mithril's trapping him in there or some shit like that.
That's a good idea.
Because you're right. Obviously, like even just now, it's like a little bit of a collapsing wall, basically. Like how hard would it be for him to just?
Yep. There are some like locking spells that Gandalf does in the books too. Like actually while he's escaping from the Balrog too. He's like laying down locking spells on doors and shit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Big thing in Harry Potter, obviously.
Yeah, right.
But I love fucking same thing with Game of Thrones. Like if we're gonna have magic be a part of the world, then like let's fucking use magic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lean into it.
Right.
But we go to the credits after that. Like really cool fucking cold open to start the finale.
Yeah, I like that a lot. Good choice.
Yeah, especially because I think there was probably a lot of people like us that were like, "Yo, you guys hinted at the Balrog last season. We quite literally have not seen it."
Right.
So I feel like that
They give it to you right at the beginning of the finale.
yeah.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Like, here you go.
And I think the name of the episode is also referencing the Balrog, the Shadow and Flame. Like that's he is the Shadow and Flame. Yeah.
Yeah.
Gandalf refers to him as he's screaming at him in the movies and in the books, like, "Go back to the Shadow. You shall not pass."
Things are going to be very different, though, now, because now they know that it's fucking there. It's like, how do they go about it? You know what I mean? Which is kind of weird, because we're going to see at the end of the episode, Durin's like, yeah, like, anybody who needs aid, like, come on over to Casa Doom. And it's just like...
Yeah,
Just don't.
Demon
Really?
monster like 10 feet on the
If you
other
see
side
the
of the
if
wall.
you see the walls trembling, like don't worry about it.
Yeah. Just don't go. Don't take a left down that hallway.
Yeah,
Maybe
for real.
Well, maybe that's also why he's welcoming everybody in. You know, he's like, hey, now that you're here, like, I need help, bad.
You elves got rings? Hell
The neighbors downstairs are out of control.
Yeah, causing a ruckus.
Yeah.
So we're gonna go to one of my favorite characters. We're gonna go to the stranger. He's wandering through the forest. He's still looking for his shaft, and he finds the Dark Wizard. Finds a Dark Wizard who calls him friend. But right away, I mean,
Old friend. He calls him old.
he calls him old friend. But the stranger's been here for like a month. He doesn't even know his name. Never mind like how people could deceive one another. This guy, if you've ever seen any person who's even remotely evil, this guy looks 50 times more evil.
Oh yeah.
Like, bro, look at your beard and look at just your staff. Like, who could confuse you with a good guy? Like, you're evil as shit.
For sure.
This guy's he's Saruman, is he not?
It's not really clear. I think he's just for a little like lore background here. There are 5 of these blue wizards that are sent.
I think they've mentioned that on the show because even I knew that. Or maybe you'd mentioned it.
I think a lot of people thought that the stranger was going to be another blue wizard, not Gandalf. But yeah, so that's what this guy mentions right now. He's like, Manwë said you would come. Manwë is the god of all gods for Lord of the Rings, and he created these 5 wizards.
God of the 5.
Yep, created these 5 wizards to like guide people through their troubles of Middle Earth or whatever. And he says, Manwë said you would come. There were 5 of us, and we were all like in this other like plane. They were saying in the uttermost west, and they left for Middle Earth to go like try to stop Sauron.
Okay.
And he's saying that you convinced me to come here too because you were convinced that we couldn't stop him on our own. We all needed to go. And so that's how I think this guy, Gandalf, but also Saruman, and that guy who lives in the woods. I forgot his name.
Bombadil?
No, the other, he's from The Hobbit and stuff. There's another wizard.
Oh, fuck.
Where he's like the brown wizard.
Fuck.
I don't know. I can't think of it right now. I'll think of it in a little bit. And then there's a 5th guy as well. But so that's what he's referencing there. And
Radagast.
and that's how they would be old friends
Like
as well. They've been living together in this other realm, and the stranger just hasn't like remembered where he came from yet. He's still a couple weeks in or whatever.
I don't buy it.
I just remember Saruman calling Gandalf old friend numerous times, and
He
to me,
does.
that's who he
True,
like.
true.
He looks like Saruman to me.
Yeah,
I think
so he
He
definitely
looks
could-
like Christopher Lee's Saruman.
Yeah, that's
me.
a good call. Right, just black hair instead of
Yeah.
white. Yeah, just 'cause he's working his way up.
Just
to
call it. But it was just, the old friend part is what really sold me.
Beard's already sketchy.
Yeah.
That's the similarity.
Radagast is the brown wizard.
Yeah. I just said it. I looked it up.
My bad.
No, it's all good. And there would also have to be like a change in staffs. And there would also need to be a change in relationships. Because obviously already Gandalf's like, yo, I don't trust you at all, bro.
Yeah.
So there would have to be, which obviously it can happen, but there would have to be a lot of change for that guy to be Saruman. I don't think so.
I think that's the story. I think that's the story going forward.
See,
Going
I
into
actually
the next season.
I think I think we're gonna see
He's on his own.
Saruman. I think he's gonna like fucking. I think that's how they're gonna become friends. I think him and Gandalf are probably gonna put this guy down together or some shit like that.
I think that's more likely because that is how Sauron is remembered as being like a good guy originally,
Right.
and then eventually going bad.
Right.
So
as
I don't
soon as
think that if
Gandalf's
this
in
was their
trouble in
first-
Fellowship, he runs to Saruman.
Right. And if this was when Gandalf and Sauron meet each other the first time, that's not how he would remember him. You know, he gave him the benefit of the doubt like too much, at his own peril, and when shit goes down in Fellowship. Yeah.
Yep.
I'm sticking with it.
It's still
I'm
possible.
sticking by it. Damn it.
I do think we're gonna see, even if this guy is or isn't, which obviously if he is,
Yeah,
we've
it's
already
either-
seen
it's
him, but
either
I think we're
gonna
gonna
be-
see Saruman in this.
It's either going to be them two going after Saruman or finding out that he is Saruman, and they're just having whatever their journey is along the way to that.
Yeah.
I can see it.
Is Saruman he's one of these blue wizards, or
Yep.
he is? Okay.
Yep.
And Gandalf isn't?
He is.
Okay. All right. For a second, I got confused, but gotcha. So fucking, like I said, we kind of got so fucking down the loophole there. But he comes across the Dark Wizard fucking, and he mentions that he's not like by himself. He's been traveling with two people. And right away, he's like, oh, yeah, I know them. Like, I got them right over here. They're completely good. We see the masked men. And I think he just continues to, like, try to play into this good guy character. He's like, oh, yeah, like, I told him just to be kind, to find him and bring him over to me and nothing else. Yeah. And right away, the masked guy's like, yo, what the fuck you talking about? And he just straight up just Jedi Force pushes the guy into the wall. It was fucking wild. But then he kind of just has another back and forth with the stranger, basically like, come with me and I'll give you all the answers to all the questions you want to know. And Gandalf ain't buying it.
No.
He ain't about it.
Nope, not buying it. And it's really when he asks him like what he would want to do if he defeated Sauron.
Yeah, would that sustain your hunger? Is that enough for you, or are you going to keep on moving up?
Right. Are you going to beat him to replace him, or just beat him to like not have someone ruling the the universe?
Right. Yeah, even
he
says
so we can roll together side by side.
There it is. Yeah.
He mentions too about how he's merciful, and Nora's like pointing to the dead guy, and she's like this is your way of showing mercy.
Yep.
Like
right.
this guy just got his head bashed into the rock, dead.
Yep. And that's some of the Hobbit heart right there too.
Yeah.
Like Frodo defends Smeagol a bunch of times from people because he feels bad for him, and
he's like, should we have pity for our enemies who just had like a knife at your throat? She's, yes.
Exactly. Yep, that's that.
They're the fucking best. I love them.
Heart.
But
makes
fucking
my heart sing, really.
Anyway, back. And the Dark Wizard right away, which again kind of shows that he's just evil. Like right away, he's like, all right, you don't want to come? Fucking all you can die. And just like brings down a mountain of stone.
Yeah.
On the two Harfoots and all
just
the
like
stores.
Saruman did in Lord of the Rings.
He did. That's true. He did do that.
Mark it down.
But Gandalf pulls some magic shit, fucking stops all the rocks so everybody can get out of Dodge nice and safe. And then I think it's supposed to be one of the bigger parts is once the rocks all fall and everyone's good, you see the stars that he's been looking for, like perfectly lit above him in the night sky.
Right.
What do those mean? I don't know. Luke, you got anything?
We just know that he's been looking for them and asking Tom Bombadil about them. And at the very end of this episode, we get a zoom out from Bombadil's house and they show the stars again.
Didn't notice that.
And then they show the Dark Wizard looking at the same stars right after that too, like transitions to that. So I don't know if that's like there's a certain point in time that they're waiting for when the stars align, where everything looks, because how stars kind of change their places in the sky. So if they're waiting for it the time to come where they all match that shape from earlier, but it's not a
like a countdown.
Or I wonder if it's more than 5 stars, right?
It seems like it, but I don't.
Is it 5? Is it 5 stars maybe?
Ooh, yeah.
Kind of going back to
the
what I mean,
Five Guys,
would that be
yeah.
a symbol for what you were saying? I think it's more though.
I was gonna say the same thing. I was like, I think it's more. I was just saying, I think it's more like 7 or 8. I could be wrong, but I thought it was more. I don't know. I don't really have anything. I don't think for the fucking stars. I mean, obviously, I don't hate that like a countdown fucking clock to something.
Yeah, and there's some other imagery with stars, like that vial that Galadriel gives Frodo is like the star of something.
Yep.
Like it's the light of the stars that first gave light to whatever. Like I don't know enough about it, but it's light of a star.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
And so they use that shit a lot.
Yeah, I got nothing for the fucking stars. All I know is that fucking the Strange is going to be doing a lot of things from season 3, I think.
Yep.
I think Gandalf, I think that was like a big revelation now that he's got his name and his staff, and now I think it's time for him to fucking run.
Mm-hmm. Let's do it.
We're going to go to a place that really sucks, which is Numenor. They have all the faithful gathered up. This is a very Game of Thrones fucking thing. I was like, all right, they brought all the people here, and they're like, okay, you guys are all traitors to the crown, and you're all arrested. And I was like, that's something Cersei Lannister would have done. So if Arizon, you might be moving up the ranks in my book. I'm not going to lie.
Walked right into it.
They really did. Yeah. You dummies. It's like the middle of the night too. They say like you did this, like you pulled this all year in the middle of the night, and it's just like, well, that's never a good thing. They're not.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You old ass fucking religious people. Come on now.
Yeah.
And it seemed like he called on like all the citizens to arrest all the.
Yes, like the yes.
Like so,
yes,
just mayhem
yes.
immediately. Just, can you imagine that happening here? Like your neighbors are coming over, like you support this person, you're under arrest. Like, it's just mayhem.
That's probably what's going to happen fucking soon with the way like politics work in this country.
Basically.
You voted what?
Yeah.
Yep.
Civil war.
It was also like very weird too that she tells him that they're all coming for him, and he looks like he doesn't buy it. Right. And then a glass shatters and a woman screams, and he we were just watching it, and he like shifts his focus. He's like, "Oh shit! Like they really are coming after me." Yep. Like I don't know what it was. It was like.
Yeah, maybe he didn't trust her at first because she's been a bitch lately.
Yeah. But it's just like a random glass shattering and a woman screaming, and he's like, all right, we're going, all right,
it's on now.
Yeah, they're coming for me, got it. Like, that was the telltale thing.
I was going to say, similar to kind of what you were just hinting at, I thought that he was kind of just like, fuck this bitch daughter of mine. Like, even if she is trying to, like, warn me, like, screw you, you're the reason I'm here. Yeah. But then I thought kind of like once he sees her like physically like put on a little show and lie and tell the guard off, he was like, all right, you know what, fuck it, I still got another kid, you might be turning over a new leaf. Like,
yep, and he's gonna go try to get the queen out of there.
Yes. So right away he's like ready to leave, and we see that the fucking queen is like, yeah, I can't leave, which I thought was very obvious. No.
Yeah. She was not.
If you leave, you're giving up your claim, right?
Yeah. That's true.
Just go be a prisoner, and
that whole thing about her being the queen and all that. Now she's like, yeah, I'm out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm riding with you.
Yeah. Nah. No, she's holding strong.
Going hard. I'm doing a lot of Thrones thinking in my head, but that's what Rhaenyra did. She fucking basically got up out of town.
Yeah.
In a way, you know what I mean?
But yeah, you can see how that's weaker than Stand in Justice.
For sure.
But she also can't do too much anyway. So.
I was going to say, I think this might have just been like, I think she went blind, and I think she picked up a slight death wish. Like, right away, she was like, you know what? I'll sacrifice myself to the sea monster. Yeah. It's fine. I'll go in. I can die. I'm blind. And she got spit out.
Little did she know that was the strength to pull her out of there.
Fuck it.
Fuck yeah. The faithful getting round up. Elendil's on the run. He's like, I'll take you with me. She's like,
I think I'm just going to stay.
No, I'm just going to hang here. But yeah, I don't hate the fact that if she leaves, she forfeits her claim. But everyone's gone. She's fucked. She's got no chance. But the big part of this scene, which even gave Numenor a slight little edge this week, was she's going to give him the Aragon sword, the sword of Isildur that he's going to use to cut the ring from Sauron's hand. Something that we see a billion times, obviously, in Lord of the Rings. Yep. Before it's forged, after it's forged. Which, I say after it's forged because that was another one of those scenes where I'm like, this is a direct visionary, like scene for scene from Lord of the Rings. Like when he unsheaths the sword, it's exactly like Aragorn when he unsheaths it, Return of the King.
Yep.
It's like exactly the same.
Yeah, that's really cool. And they should lean into that. That's one of the coolest connections between
for
this
sure.
story and that one.
Yeah. No, now I'm in. I'm not in on Numenor, but I'm in on Elendil.
Exactly.
Like
right.
I'm in on that dude.
Yep. And that sword is the proof that he's a descendant of
that
Numenor.
too.
Yeah.
Right.
I am the blood of Elendil and Isildur. And like, here's my sword to prove it. And there's supposedly only someone who has that blood can even like wield that sword too after some point. Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So you say wield it? Is it like Thor's hammer kind of deal? Like you can't even pick it up,
Ooh,
or
I
is
don't
it?
know. I think it's
You try to wield it, like
that'd be cool if it's like that. I assumed it would more be like you just like fall to pieces or whatever. You get poisoned or something.
Your hand burns off or something.
But maybe it just literally can't be used.
So I was just gonna say they call it the white flame, and now you guys are talking about that. Maybe right there, you pick it up, and it just
fucking goes white hot.
There it is.
Well, yeah,
Yep.
Yeah, see that too.
That's we see that in Two Towers when like Gandalf comes to Aragorn, Gimli, and Legolas for the first time in the woods.
Right.
They all like have their weapons ready to go, and Aragorn's sword just like burns in his hands.
That's true.
It's not white, but
that could be a reference. Yeah.
That's funny though.
He's just making the sword do what it's already built to do. That'll be a Gandalf move.
I'm not gonna lie. Doing this podcast, I've realized just how much I like memorize the Lord of the Rings movies. I feel like there's so many things.
Yeah.
I did that quote when you were talking about fucking Galadriel a couple of weeks ago, and I just watched Fellowship. I was like, nailed that.
Nice. Yeah, you're good.
It was Malice and Will to Dominate all life.
Let's go.
But yeah, that was a very, very cool. Like I said, I'm not in on Numenor at all. Very much out on it. But that was a scene where I was like, oh, shit.
Now I got a little bit going forward.
Yeah, that was something. And like I said, Farazan being like a crazy fucking evil bastard does intrigue me too. Like I am in on that.
Yeah.
Now that he has the orb.
Yeah,
too.
exactly. That
too.
too. Yup.
Little
See,
interest
like
there.
now I am slightly interested. He also seems like a guy who is totally capable of killing his son. If he kills his son, I'm all the way in on
Oh
this
man, what a
Yeah.
all the way in on this guy. Or even if he just puts him in the situation
What a
to get killed, good enough for me.
oh man.
I'd put all my chips in the Farazan.
What a communist motherfucker that guy is, dude.
his
What
son's
a
such a
Joaquin
yeah.
Phoenix gladiator
He
motherfucker
really is.
that guy is,
It's so
dude.
funny you see that. That's a dude. He even like dresses the scene.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
a great call.
Such a little
Oh
twat.
man,
Oh,
that's a great fucking call. That's so spot on.
such a twat.
Oh my god, that's so spot on. He is just the fucking worst. He's only got like one scene in this episode, and it's fucking awful. Let's see. We see a Region basically in fucking flames. The orcs have completely gone over the walls. Shit's falling down. We see a very, very awesome little scene that I love. We see this one elf. He fires like 2 arrows. He drills like 2 orcs. He like runs, stabs another one right in the neck. We're like, oh yeah, this guy's fucking cool. Then he like jumps out like a window, slides down a roof. We're like, oh my god, this guy's the coolest fucking thing. Lands on the ground, dead.
I was
like,
going to
that's
bring that one
awesome.
up. That was funny.
That was awesome.
It was sick.
So fucking cool. Because it was like every single person watching that show and that scene had the exact same thought and reaction.
Yeah.
There was no one who was like, that wasn't cool, not a single person. And then he lands and gets hit, and they're like, that was pretty funny.
Interesting way to bring some levity to the situation.
Yeah.
By killing a guy.
Yeah. That was cool, though, too. That's another one of those things, man, where it's like that was like a one shot. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was sick.
I was like, that's fucking wicked cool. It's just one single outshot, zoom in the whole way. I was like, that's sick.
Very cool.
Very cool. That's what the stunt doubles. Everyone's been pushing for that now. Fucking for stunt people having an Oscar.
That was
and
his.
fucking,
The peak. That was his peak right there.
We see Galadriel, and she is basically got a couple of the women and children, straight Titanic style, and she's getting them to safety through some old school tunnels. And as soon as they get out the other end, there is a full on just army, not an army, but a nice little clan of orcs just waiting for them. Yeah. And right away, without question, Galadriel's like, "Yo, just let my people go, and I will trade myself and the 9 rings of men for their safety."
Yep.
Fucking
strong offer.
Yeah, it is a strong fucking offer. And obviously Adar wants her. She just escaped fucking the prison, like that was last week, right? Yeah, that was last week.
Yep.
Yeah. So obviously, he wants her back big time. But very elf thing to do. I guess. Not even elf thing to do. I guess men do it. Aragon would have done the same thing.
Yeah.
Taking care of the small folk.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a good move. I'm surprised that she was so willing to trade at this point, but I guess the
Total strangers.
dwarves hadn't come yet, I guess, and all that, so they were pretty desperate.
I was just gonna say, yeah, things have changed a little bit. Where that first offer he gave her might be starting to look a little bit better now. Like the two of us work together, which we're gonna see when she gets there. That's like the first thing she pitches is like, you know what, I'm gonna take you up on that deal now.
Yeah, there's no Region left to save.
For real.
Yeah.
But fucking, you can tell right away, like, all right, we're gonna have a ring showdown basically, because we know that last week's episode ended with Adar getting Galadriel's ring, and she's bringing the 9 cheapo knockoff ones to him. So we're gonna have 10 rings in the same place for at least a few minutes.
Yeah.
So right away, I was like, okay, that's gonna be big. This was a very, very, very good scene. One of my favorite ones of the entire series so far. We're going to go back to Celebrimbor's workshop, basically. And Sauron is just fucking torturing the shit out of him. We see that he's wicked bloody, beaten. So even before we see not before we see him, but we see he's plugged with arrows. Sauron hits him with another one. You can tell he's like intentionally missing like anything important just to create more pain. Yeah. But you can see long before these arrows, he was already like beating the shit out of him and shit.
Yeah, he's like bleeding from the mouth and stuff, and the head too. So yeah,
right,
just arrow related.
Fucking been taking his time with him.
Yeah. Joffrey would approve of this torture method, I think.
For sure.
Yeah, it's basically the same thing. He's with a crossbow. Yeah,
for sure. But he hasn't given up any information yet. He's been holding strong. We quickly find out. Yeah. And he
sick
goes.
Oh yeah, when he grabs the arrow and
and like puts a little pressure on it,
like flicks it off. Oh man, I was like, man, that's gonna fucking hurt bad, dude. Oh, what a fucking little prick. Oh, that must hurt so bad.
Part of the reason why I think this scene is so good is because it starts off now. Celebrimbor is very much like giving up, kind of. He's like, dude, just do whatever you have to do. Like, I've already accepted it. Like, I'm gonna go to basically like my ancestors, kind of like the ancestral plane from Black Panther. Like, I'm gonna go with all my other elves. You're not gonna be able to come and get us.
The morning sun is what he calls it.
Yeah.
Morning sun will rise, something like that.
Morning sun. Yeah, I think you're right. But fucking, he's being all like submitting. I would kind of say is a good way to sort of put it. And then Sauron's like, dude, like. You just think it's going to end soon. Like, you have no idea what's happening. Like, I can make this drag on and on and on. And then, rather than continue to submit, I think Celebrimbor, like, in his head is like, shit, like, I can't allow, like, that to happen. Not just because I don't want to give up information, but because, like, I physically don't want any more physical torture. He, like, turns the table. And he goes from submitting to going on the attack to the point where... We see him, he's sitting in a pile of his own blood, and he looks weak as shit. And he literally gathers the strength to stand up and just fucking be like, no, Sauron, like, bitch, listen the fuck up.
Yeah.
And he fucking goes right at him, digs into him. And Sauron, which we've already seen it a couple times, he's like a mental weakling. Like, as soon as you talk a little bit of shit to him, he gets all teary. He's
sensitive.
He is very sensitive.
Yeah.
But he starts going in on him, and right away, basically calling him like a Morgoth knockoff, which was a great way to put it. That's going to fire him up.
Yeah, Shadow of Morgoth, he called him.
Yep. Sauron just like takes a spear and fucking shoves it right into his chest, lifts him up to the ceiling, which looked cool too. And Celebrimbor, I think, virtually, in a way, got what he wanted. You know what I mean? Like, he was able to check out without any more torture. And the rings are gone. He didn't give up any information. So, like... And it seemed like he got under Sauron's skin a little bit in his very closing moments. Very Queen of the Thorns.
Yeah.
Fucking tell Cersei it was me with like her dying moment kind of thing.
Yeah.
Sauron, the Lord of the Rings.
Yes. That's what I'm saying. Like that was.
I think that's what makes him shed a tear. Is right after he says that, because he definitely like hoists him up, kills him. I don't think he starts shedding a tear yet. And then it's when he starts getting like ripping into him a little bit on the way out. And I think that's when he says. Like Sauron, the Lord of the Rings. That's when he starts having the one tear go down his face. Yeah. He is a little sensy.
Yeah, no, he was
Yeah.
one of those kids that like got bullied for a long time, and it made him a little bitch. And now that he can bully other people, he's like,
he becomes like a cop and tries to get his revenge.
Coughing all day.
Get his revenge on everybody.
Yeah, exactly. Now that he can fucking stand up to anybody and do anything he wants, he ain't taking shit from no one, even if it's just like the slightest little hiccup.
Badass scene.
It really was.
I think it's important to say too that he was still being strong at the beginning because he was not going to give away any information.
True.
He was just accepting his fate.
Yes.
But then, like you said, he turned it up. Like when he realized that he could be tortured for eternity somehow. He's like,
let's just wrap this up.
On. Yeah.
The way that
Kill me now, bitch.
The way that they shot him standing up, I thought was so fucking cool too.
Yeah.
Like Sauron's face is like right here. It's like not center shot. They're both like left and right, but it's a little bit more on Sauron. He's close up. You see his face and his reaction in your grill. And then in the background, you just see him like mustering the courage to fucking stand up. And it was just like very cool.
Like
I feel
12
like
arrows.
it was like obviously like Celebrimbor is not going to be able to do some knife trick and assassinate Sauron. So it's not like you're like that kind of a thing, you know what I mean? But it's like, oh shit, like even though he can't do anything crazy, he's gonna do something. Just you know what I'm saying? Right. Like they built this tension as he stood up to like an oh shit. Like,
he's not gonna fight.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. Like he's gonna do something, and it's just like to me right away. I was like, oh man. So that scene I thought that was fucking incredible. Great way to go out for Celebrimbor.
Yep. Yeah. And I actually got the line just real quick.
Yeah.
It is a little bit of a prophecy to what actually ends up happening too. But he's like, hear me, Shadow of Morgoth.
Yep.
The rings of power shall destroy you. And in the end, I foresee one alone shall prove your utter ruin. So he's saying fucking Frodo's going to be the one dude who kills him. He says, you're wrong. I'm the creator. I'm their master. No, you're their prisoner, Sauron. Lord of the Rings. And that's like...
That's awesome.
Yep.
Yeah.
No, you're the prisoner. And he really is because he has putting all his power in the ring, and because the ring goes, he goes too.
Yeah. Like, and you said the title was Fire and Shadows, right?
Yeah, Shadow and Flame.
So there's the shadow part of the Shadow and Flame, right? Shadow of Morgoth.
Shadow of Morgoth, yeah, that too. So yeah, multiple meanings. Love it.
I mentioned this before we started recording, but have you seen True Romance?
No.
So for my True Romance fans out there, this scene was very made me think of that one a lot, as far as when the dad was trying to get his ticket punched before Too Much Torture came. Which, by the way, you guys both need to watch True Romance because it's fucking incredible.
Is that the one you told Ledoux to watch?
Yeah, and then he watched.
He said it was very good.
Oh yeah.
All right.
Do I ever Do I ever tell people to watch shit?
Yeah,
and it's
sometimes.
bad.
Yeah.
Anything that
I'm
I
watching Agatha all along coming up here.
Oh, I haven't even watched it myself. I'm trying to avoid it at all costs. I feel like anything I say is bad is almost intentionally bad. I'm like, oh yeah, you should Outer Banks, 2 days away, baby. I sit there and I'm like, everybody should watch Outer Banks because it is the best bad television that ever existed. It's the best. It's the absolute best. The scene ends though with fucking Glug, that piece of shit. Fucking Glug, that son of a bitch.
You motherfucker.
He comes wandering into the room and he's like, Sauron, is that you?
Yeah.
And he does the same thing. We get it, dude. You go by a lot of names. You've been around a long time. We get it, dude. You're just being annoying at this point. For once, can you just be like, yep, it's me. Hey, what's going on? No, I've been known by many names. We get it, bro.
Yeah.
We get it.
So yes.
What's most important is that he asked Glug what his name is, though.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
His name, Orc.
Right.
Yeah,
he's finally somebody showing some...
Yeah, respect.
Yeah,
cordial with him. Yeah.
Right, and he probably knows that.
That's what I
happened
think.
with
That's
Glug and Adar and all that.
I was gonna say, I think he was he knows how Adar treats these guys, and he was like, I want them to turn, so he's like, I'm gonna give him.
If he's making it personable, make it a little bit personable.
He just turns, sees the guy, reads his mind, and starts milking him
Right.
immediately.
All right, this guy's name's Glug. He has some issues with personality.
Here's his weaknesses. Here's how I enter.
And action. Let's go right into it.
I love it.
Can read him like a fucking book in 10 seconds.
Yeah. That's his game.
Oh shit, the Deceiver. They don't call him that for nothing. We go to two people that nobody gives a shit about. If you do, you're a fucking loser. It's Theo and Isildur.
It's the most important part of this whole thing. If you care about him being a loser, it's the most important. Arguably the most important
dude, he
character in
fucking
this whole thing.
sucks. Screw that guy. He doesn't.
He's weak-minded.
Nah, Gandalf's in here, bro. Gandalf. He's gonna go on to live to the end. Isildur's a queer. They're both a bunch of queers.
His dad's cool though.
Yeah, his dad is cool. I do like his dad. His sister sucks too. It's just his siblings. But they're going to be going their separate way, and they're going to exchange these big hugs, which he wouldn't even give to Arondir, who was definitely much more of a fatherly figure and cared for him much more longer of his life. And was actually the reason that they even went to go save him in the first place, which is how Isildur ended up saving him and why he was suddenly giving him hugs. The entire thing is completely fucked up. It makes absolutely no sense to me, but it is what it is. They really, really stink. Theo's like, yo, I'm out of here. And then that dumb bitch Estrid comes in and she's like, yo, my fiance basically was like, he's going to love me till the end of time and I want the vomit in my mouth. And then they share a kiss and he's like, come with me to Numenor. And that's about it. Anything to add?
Well, yeah, she says that we're building a home together and he told me he loves me. But then I realized that I don't really love him. I love you. She's like, then I realized that I don't feel the same way about him. And then she's like, yeah, let me just bail on this guy. Let's go.
It is very funny that you say that because then again they did do poetic shit. He was building the foundation of our house.
Yeah, he set the cornerstone.
The cornerstone.
And leaned over and told me, yeah,
I hope our love lives as long as this house does.
Yeah, I feel bad for the guy. He's doing all the right stuff. He's a good dude.
Yeah, for real. No, he didn't do anything fucking
cucked
wrong.
Real quick
By a guy who's just a loser, just a complete wet blanket noodle.
Yeah.
There's nothing cool about Isildur right now. He's just a little bitch. Just a little bitch.
And then gonna be a fake hero in the future and everything. Even worse.
Yeah, that's true too.
Isn't that how they all kind of are in Lord of the Rings though? Frodo kind of a little bitch.
Frodo is a bitch.
Isildur kind of a little bitch.
Frodo is a bitch.
I guess Bilbo not
once you read the
not a
books,
bitch.
you'll love Frodo.
But,
Oh my god.
you know what I mean? How he's
guarantee you will.
portrayed, it's just like.
You know what definitely doesn't help? I realized I didn't really totally put this together until the other day. Me and Holly are watching Fellowship of the Ring, and right away, as soon as he comes on screen when he's reading that fucking book by the tree, before we even know anything about his character, right away I'm like, I fucking hate this kid. And I'm like, I hate his fucking face, and I hate his fucking hair, and I hate everything about him. And she goes, do you just hate Elijah Wood? And I was like, fuck, you know what? I might just hate Elijah Wood.
Oh man, that's
See anything wrong with Elijah Wood?
Oh man, dude, I fucking hate. Man, I don't know what it is. And then he hops on that cart right away with Gandalf, and he does that laugh, like that wicked, loud, obnoxious cackle.
All right, keep your secrets.
Gandalf.
I literally just want to kick him right in the face, dude.
That's
Right
his
out of
first
the
lines.
gate, man.
Gandalf.
Yeah. He's just awful. Oh, I hate him so much. And I love The Hobbit, so it pains me to say that.
I definitely think it's just how they portray him. I don't think it's I
You'll
don't think
love-
it's not a personable.
You'll love him in the book.
I mean, yeah, maybe.
It's not an Elijah Wood thing.
I hate that. Like, I don't know. It's just a lot about him. Like, he backs, like you said, you mentioned it a minute ago. Like, he fucking backs Gollum all the time. Like, that pisses me off.
Right? That's not Elijah Wood doing
Goes
that.
against it. No, it's both. I hate his face still. His fucking
So
face
Gandalf told him
sucks.
to do. All right. Jeez.
I do love him in Green Street Hooligans, though. Shout out Green Street.
So
Hooligans.
what are we talking about? That's
Actually, you know what? Now that I think about it, though, I actually really don't love him. I love Charlie Hunnam in Green Street Hooligans, and I love the movie Green Street Hooligans. Elijah Wood could easily be replaced, and I'd like that movie. You know what? I do hate Elijah Wood.
that's ridiculous.
Bad take.
That's
take.
ridiculous.
I'm starting to come around more and more. We're gonna stay with them. We're gonna talk about a guy we just talked about a little while ago, Farazan's twat son, who everybody fucking hates.
Fucking
Commodus.
Yeah, Commodus.
Yeah, go ahead. He basically has arrived at the same place. I don't know where they are, but he arrived where Isildur is and all of them.
It's like a colony of Numenor. It's called Pelargir.
It's in Middle Earth. Though.
Yeah, it's like across the sea, and it seems like it's a pretty abandoned colony that they're now just going to repurpose as their like
Right.
fort.
Everybody fled to after the battle with the fucking orcs and the Numenorians and shit from last season.
Yep.
All right, so that's where they are. They're all chilling. His name's Kemen, which is also kind of a cunty name. I don't like anything about this guy. His name sucks too.
Yeah.
But he's there from Numenor, and he tries to play like all cool and fucking chill
Yeah,
with
this is so
Isildur at
lame.
first. Like, yo, what up, bro? I ain't seen you in a minute. I thought you was dead.
Yeah. Your sister will be thrilled to hear you're okay.
For sure. And then Isildur is trying to get some people on the boat, pulls rank, like, yo, my sister's this, my dad's that. And he's like, no, listen, like, your dad's actually a traitor to the throne. If I had it my way, you'd be killed. Isildur grabs him, and then he's like, if you do that again, you know, I'm going to, like, have you killed.
I'm gonna kill your horse for meat.
That too. You know.
That's his
Didn't
beloved
like-
horse.
It's true. It's
Yeah.
true. Don't hurt the horse. That's a good point. I don't want the
right
horse hurt. Trade fucking. They're gonna be cutting down trees, so timber in exchange for not being killed. I guess.
Timber again, massive in this
Yeah.
one. Fucking
So-
timber, dude. Is
So there was definitely a strong hint to the Ents here, because he demands the timber as like payment for protection, and so they can build their ships. And then he says, "After all, they're only trees, right?" And then he looks at Isildur, who just had that crazy experience with the
Yeah,
wife
right.
and the
Yeah,
Ents.
yeah, yeah.
And so it's just like, yeah, I don't think it's gonna go very well for you. You're gonna chop down some trees, and you're gonna unleash some
Ain't just
wrath.
trees, baby.
Yeah, no. Mama tree's gonna come.
Mama tree.
Come and lay down the law.
This is where like Theo's chilling too, and he's like now one of these like small folk, and he's like, yo, like we gonna get
He
our
is small
fucking
folk in this
yeah,
whole
he
entire
really, that's a
fucking-
good point.
He is fucking small folk.
Are we gonna get
His
like
background.
our goods for like the timber and shit? And Kemen's like, yeah, basically like, okay, sure. But I was like, you know, I don't like this guy. But you know, now that I'm thinking about it, let me tell you something, brother. As much as I hate you right now, if you find a way to like starve off this Theo kid,
Oh,
kill him
I
dead
like that. Yeah.
now we might be coming around, Commodus.
If he wants to be the one to take out Theo, yeah, I wouldn't mind that.
I don't like this guy,
All right.
but I hate Theo more.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's just like fucking Numenor. I mean, fucking Eljo, get the sword.
Yes,
I just need a little bit. Just give me a little,
give me something.
little storyline.
I've got a
turn
good.
real quick on you.
I've got a good prediction that I think is like pretty likely, and you're gonna like maybe as a demise for Kemen or whatever his name is.
All right,
But
I'd like a painful death.
I think he could be one of the ring wraiths. He's gonna be one of the targets of Sauron.
Get the fuck out of here.
That
Even though he's a
twat?
little bitch, I know, but he's gonna be a tortured soul for the next 10,000 years, and he has a position of power.
What a fucking loser.
I'm with you on that. And immediately you're like, they need to be cooler dudes who are the ring wraiths. So I'm with you on that. But they also need to be weak and manipulative, like manipulable.
Boromir. Boromir should have been a ring wraith.
He must be. He
Yeah.
must be the one that screams like a little girl when he
Badass
gets
and manipulable.
when he gets lit on fire in the. That must be him.
Yeah, that's kind of.
Just that shriek.
Yeah.
That probably is. You're
It's gotta
probably
be
right.
him.
This fucking family, man. That's fucking great. I fell asleep. We were watching it late. I got to go back and finish it. It doesn't help that the director's cut's like 3.5 hours long.
Yeah.
But thankfully, that is the end of them for the season. We don't have to go back to any of those losers.
We made it.
No, we did. We
made
did. We made it. I was actually another thing I said to Seth before we started the show. Before you got here, I was like, I'm not even joking. Like, I'm starting to get to the point where I'm gonna like actively just like start fast forwarding through their scenes.
Yeah.
And like if they come across other characters, then I'll watch those, and I'm sure I'll be able to pick up on what happened based on those conversations.
Even in the upcoming season.
I can't do it.
I
They come on the
thought you
screen
meant
and
through
I
a
get
rewatch.
No. I'm like,
Skip it.
they're like,
They're at least worth like.
It's gonna be a bigger part, I bet.
Yeah, they're at least
Bro.
worth go take a piss with the door open or something, so you don't miss anything, or like go in the other room and get. You know what I mean? So like, if something does happen,
like
you can
that
hear
one.
it.
I like that one.
It does
Just
look like
fast forward.
it seems like Elendil is gonna go start his colony in Middle Earth now,
All right, so they're gonna
where
go
like
their way
Gondor
over
and
there.
Rohan start and shit.
Okay. We already saw Isildur's sword's got that fucking Rohan like pommel on the head of the sword.
Good catch.
Let's see here, because the new I imagine the Numenorians were definitely going to be like Gondorian. I thought for sure,
Yes,
especially now after the sword thing. That seems obvious, but
Yep, I'm pretty sure Elendil is gonna found a bigger region, which includes Gondor as like the main city, and that's gonna be like his founding thing.
word. It seems like we're going to be doing a lot of that too. We're going to obviously be forming a lot of things. We're going to
Lot
see
of
the
building
beginning of
going on.
yeah, right. Like the end, we're going to hint at Rivendell, but I think we're going to build Rohan.
This
We're
is
gonna
a-
build Gondor. We're going to build the map.
Yeah.
We're going to build the Shire. We'll get there. We're almost there.
Yeah, right.
We're almost there.
Let's go.
Let's see. Actually, yeah, we got to move a little bit faster. Galadriel is brought to Adar. Galadriel, like I said earlier, was trying to take up on that first deal, and Adar's rocking that ring, but he turns around and he's looking all like young, not orky. He's all cleaned up again.
Went to
He's looking
rehab.
like his best self.
Cleaned himself. He cleaned
Yeah.
himself up.
He did.
Yeah.
He cleaned himself up.
He did. So this was
Got some work done.
the version of him before he went orky. I don't even know. I guess was tortured by Morgoth. Actually, I guess that would be the best way to put
Yeah,
it.
he's
Before
like-
he was tortured and
He's been like purified or something.
purified. Wow. Okay, that's dark. That's dark.
Whatever darkness was inside him was removed. Same way that the tree was, same shit.
Yeah, no, I gotcha. Right away though, again, Adar just being the fucking man. I love this guy. Like I said last week, he easily one of my favorite characters in the show. Again, when I was saying functions off like the old rules and shit, he's like, no, like this isn't who I am now. Like even though I look pretty and my life would be better, he's like, I've built my character, my life, my foundation around being the father to these orcs, and I am Adar. Like, help me get that name back.
Sure, I'm handsome now, but
Don't want to be.
Don't
Don't want to be.
I'm a hashtag orc dad.
Still the prettiest orc in the camp.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But he takes off the ring. He's like, yo, like, I'll give you this ring. Help me defeat Sauron. And then once we defeat him, I'll go back to Mordor. No questions asked. We'll never attack you guys again. Just, like, leave us be. Yeah. And Galadriel is even like, yo, like, I've killed a shit ton of your, like, kids. And he's like, bygones be bygones. Like, I just want me and the rest of my children to get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, that's cool, man.
And like I said, he takes the ring right off, pops it off, and fucking just gives it to, like, Galadriel. And I was just like, oh, shit. Made me like him even more.
I know. I was surprised. I did not see that coming.
Thought it was a trap, right?
Yeah.
Had to think it was a trap.
Yeah.
Guess
he
what?
seemed
There is a
genuine.
trap coming. It's just fucking this trap.
I know. He's fucking killed by his
Bullshit,
children.
dude. For real. Right after he pops the ring off, a couple of orcs pull up. They get a little a gurney. Fucking Glug laid out like he fucking got killed. Adar's starting to, be like, oh, my son, I'm so sorry. And Glug comes back and he just fucking gives him a nice quick stab.
Fucking Glug.
Fucking Glug is right. Fucking Glug is right.
Yeah, that's pretty diabolical. Was not anticipating that. I thought he was cool. But yeah, he was.
Who, Glug?
Yeah, he seemed like he was reasonable. But yeah, his.
I knew he was a turncoat.
Also, too, I mean, for a character that is not in the books, and
Adar?
they've made it up, that's a pretty sweet storyline.
yeah.
For the whole thing happening, because I was kind of at first like figuring he would have died like in a the great battle or whatever it is, but if they don't have anything to go off of, they're not gonna create that on their own.
Right.
So the fact that they turned it this way and wrote it how they did,
Yeah,
with just nothing to go back on, from the book, well done.
Yeah, I thought it was really good.
Do you guys watch the basically like the Game of Thrones thing, like the after show?
Usually, I think I only saw I was kind of watching it.
So last week, they had the I think it was the writer and the producer of the show or something like that on, and they said that they initially their plans for Adar, I think they said was a 2-episode run. And then it was one of the Tolkiens. I don't know if it's a son of his that's helping out with this show or a nephew or something like that.
Yep.
But he said they said that he went to them and he was like, no, this character is
Wow.
this is a good character and it's something that we need to expand on and give him more of a role. And they were basically who are we to say no to you?
Right.
We're
Okay.
we're operating off of your fucking whoever's source material. So they were okay. And then they were even saying they were in hindsight they were we're so glad that he did because we had so much fun developing his character and obviously it came out so well on screen. And I think there's a lot of people like us that even though he's a bad guy and an orc and all that shit, we're this guy's an awesome character. He's a really really good fucking character.
Yeah, has strong principles that he sticks to, and yeah, you gotta respect him. And he tried doing what was best for his people, but got burned by his own peeps. It sucks.
And from a finale standpoint too, you've already had Durin's dad, Celebrimbor, and now Adar all dying off in one finale. That's pretty fucking impressive too.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Good point. Yeah,
for sure. I also thought it was kind of not interesting, but the season opened with the flashback and we see Sauron get stabbed again by the orcs 2 billion times with 2 billion knives, and this was the exact same thing that they did to Adar. And then Glug comes in and gives the final blow.
The last glug.
Yep. The last Glug. I like that. I like it.
Fucking asshole. That's unbelievable that we figure out his name last episode and then he does so much this time to piss us off.
Such a classic Glug move.
Oh, man.
Such a classic Glug.
Classic glug.
Classic.
Fucking asshole.
Oh, that's fucking great. And then Sauron fucking arrives. Sauron's fucking here, and him and Galadriel are gonna fucking square off. He grabs that crown of Morgoth, and they have a nice little fucking battle, a nice back and forth. At first, he's it seems like he's almost playing with her, toying with his food a little bit. But then she gets hot. she goes on a little bit of a streak. She starts. The kick was awesome.
Yeah.
The fucking kick was really, really, really cool. And then she kind of had him going a little bit. She had him against the ropes, and he goes and pulls that little deceiver trick, becomes fucking Hallbrand to make her kind of slow down. But she sees through it. She she slows down for a second, but she goes. She ends up fighting herself, and then Celebrimbor. Cool scene.
Right, he rattles through all of his tricks, and none of them were working.
Yeah.
She's still coming at him hard.
Every time too that he deflected her sword too with the crown was awesome. Made
it's
an
very
awesome
cool.
sound, and then he flipped it around every time too.
Yep.
Yeah, it was well done.
Sword on each hand, ring versus crown in the other.
Mm-hmm.
But that was a cool scene. I enjoyed that a lot. Thought it looked very cool. And then it kind of ends with obviously Sauron winning. Of course, he is able to force the crown right into her almost heart area. But I think the bigger thing to take away is the fact that Sauron was legitimately yo, I've never had a girlfriend before, and I really liked you. Right. And if you hadn't have left me, I really would have made you a queen, and you would have been so cool and powerful.
Yeah, that's why you haven't had a girlfriend. You're such a little fucking prissy bitch all the time. No wonder why you ain't getting none, man. Man up, guy. Man up, bro.
That's basically how she reacts. She's you're a loser. I could give you this ring, but instead I'm going to literally jump off of the mountain to my death.
Yeah, intense.
Good scene.
Yeah,
I enjoyed it a lot.
And she gets stabbed too. So do you think there's any more meaning to that going into next season? Is she going to be cursed now? I think she got stabbed by the crown, right?
She did.
Yeah, so it seems like they're healing her with the rings, but
trying to kind of.
Isn't that where we're going right now? Pretty sure.
So I don't know if I jumped ahead.
No, you're fine.
But yeah, they seem like they're healing her, but it's also
that's
strange.
What they literally mention. They say it's almost like what happens to Frodo. It's he's not just stabbed, they're
right Morgul blades or whatever.
Yeah, it's fucking got poison on it. And it's gonna make you a wraith, basically.
You're right. She's drifting into the shadow realm.
Right.
Thing. Yeah.
But the fact that they even after they save Frodo's always got that. He talks about the wound and shit. Yeah. He goes, it's never felt right since that day that I was stabbed. Yada yada yada. That's why he ends up getting on the boat at the end of Return of the King and shit. I feel like that's got to be something similar in vein to this.
Yeah, I can see it.
You know what I mean? We also see in Fellowship like when Frodo like says like I could give you the ring, and she goes like all dark and evil and shit.
That's funny. That literally just popped into my head when he said that. Yeah.
Yeah. So like I feel like that
You
could
just
be a
scared the hell
part of
out of me
that
as a
and
kid.
shit.
It scared the shit out of me the first time I saw that as a kid.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. No doubt.
That was so fucking scary.
Unlimited power.
Yeah. No doubt. That was very creepy as a kid because I came out what? It's like 2001.
I think, yeah.
So we were like fucking 8 years old. No, she looked fucking scary as shit.
Maybe that's a way of him being a part of her forever now going forward.
That's
Kinda deal,
yeah,
you know?
that's what I'm thinking. Something like that. But same thing with her too. You know, like at the end of Return of the King, she hops on that boat as well. Mm-hmm. All the people's fate was tied to the ring. Region has fallen. The High King, Gil-galad, who I've also realized that I like a lot, was kind of the man, especially when I saw the after show for this week's episode. He seems like the coolest guy of all time. He's just like a dope dude on set. I'm like, oh, yeah, I knew I liked this guy. I just have a fucking sense sometimes.
Like full costume on set.
Yeah, exactly. That's what he was doing.
Scenes
And he was fucking like walking through, talking to like just a cameraman by himself, but he was just like bullshitting, just like letting it fly. And I was like, dude, this guy's awesome. I love it. Holly said the same thing, but she didn't even like have like a pre-feeling on it. And I was like, I think I like this guy. So I wield that spear last week. I was like, he looks cool. He's got cool armor and cool ears and shit, and a cool little crown. And then I saw that. I was like, yeah, I'm all in.
Big Gil-galad guy.
But they're about to burn all of like Celebrimbor's, files, scrolls, all of his hard drive, basically, all the shit that he's ever done. And Elrond's just like, yo, no, kill us instead. And as soon as you say that, it's like, dude, you know what's going to happen. Yeah. I get what you were trying to do because they were going to burn it up anyway, but as soon as you say don't burn it up, they're going to burn that shit the fuck up.
Yeah.
Which is exactly what they did.
Yeah, it's sad, especially for us lore lovers, hate to see the history going to waste like that.
I gotcha. Yeah. Oh, why? So it's like Maester shit too? Like he's keeping records?
It's like all there.
Like...
Yeah, it's... it's forging intel, but yeah, it's also just records. It's one of their main cities.
All right. So yeah, see, like when I saw that right away, I thought it was just like his inventions and that kind of shit.
Yeah, no, not just smithing. It's in all regards. They're losing some important.
So Celebrimbor, he's literally built this city. Yeah, he built this city. He's a record keeper. He's a forger. He's fucking. This guy's got a lot going on.
Rings. Not just
For
a forger.
For real. We see fucking the dwarves arrive. The dwarves have been sent back now that the king's been taken care of, and we don't have to worry about a Balrog running through the place.
Yeah, the horn too.
Yeah, the horn's cool. Too. Yeah, that was cool. It's Gil-galad who says it, like, right? I think someone's like, "What is that kind of thing?" And he's like, "That's the dwarves." The biggest problem, like I think they showed it earlier, but I didn't notice it until this time when I was watching it. But fucking Arondir's alive, and that really bothers me.
I know. I told you last week, and they didn't even have to explain it. They just brought him back.
Yeah, no, they really didn't explain it. You know what pissed me off the most too? I just kept looking for it. I was like, you know what? They probably just missed the first scene, and then there was like 5 scenes later. I was like, this guy's got no like damage at all to his chest plate. I was like, he got stabbed right through the stomach, and his chest plate is just perfect. I was like, okay.
Yeah. But you're like, I don't see how he's gonna come back. Like, he seemed pretty dead. Like, can you explain? I'm like, yeah, I just think he's gonna come back.
Bro, he's stabbed in the gut with a sword.
And he just came back with no explanation. So
none.
He didn't have like a zoom in scene or like him like saving somebody else's day. Like he was just there,
just back up.
Like, oh, all right,
just pop back up.
He is there. Nice, cool.
Couldn't fucking believe it. We killed Celebrimbor. We killed Adar. 2 just like fucking dope characters.
Right.
The whole city. The whole
city's
burning down.
Arondir.
Yeah. Well, like, can you even believe any death you see now? If someone just doesn't get explained away from that?
That's a good question, and that's something I don't want to even think about, to be honest, because like that shit sucks. That's like my biggest thing with Stranger Things too. Is like there's no real like danger to the show if every single person that dies you're just gonna bring back in some capacity. Like there has to be stakes involved, and to have stakes that means people have to die. Like people that people care about. That's why Game of Thrones is Game of Thrones. Yeah. Like.
And Star Wars has been struggling with that lately. They keep doing these like, oh, this person's dead. Next episode, they're back in the first 1 minute.
The Emperor still comes back.
Yeah,
for hundreds of years.
Yeah, and that's Ahsoka. They killed Sabine in the first episode or whatever, and she comes back.
Yeah.
She gets stabbed in the gut, and she's immediately fine in the next episode.
I was just gonna say, I gotta be honest. I think it plays a little bit more with like a bad guy. I feel like the big bad, and you just like keep fucking, almost like we saw Sauron. He turned into a thing of gunk and lived off of like insects before he came back.
Right.
Like he's the supreme evil. Like he's the big bad. Like I'm okay with that. It's when you take heroes and you like, kill them, and then it's just like they're just fine the next thing. And it's just like, well, dude, like, how are we supposed to fear for any of these heroes when they're in peril if we just know that they're always going to survive?
Yeah.
There's just like, you know what I mean? There's no stakes.
Which is already an issue with this show because we know Galadriel survives everything.
Correct.
Isildur survives everything. Like,
True, yeah.
It's already an issue. So
Elrond's going to survive everything.
Right.
Which is why, like, at some point, like, and it's going to suck. Like, Durin needs to die, and it needs to be somehow in a way where, like, people aren't expecting it to happen. Like, Durin's death has to be
So he's not.
massive
So he's
and
not in the
unseen.
caves of Khazad-dûm, is what you're saying.
I don't know. Maybe. Maybe. I don't have an answer to that. That would be very
The mains.
unpredictable, though, if he is outside of fucking Khazad-dûm, if he's somewhere with Elrond.
Yeah, he
and
seems
all
like
those
one
things.
that once they get to the mines and Fellowship of the Ring, where he's, Gimli's reading the stuff and he starts crying and shit.
yeah.
I wonder if we're going to have any connection to the guy they're going to reference, because we didn't hear anything about Durin have a brother until the very end, which we'll get there in a second. But
I know that was strange.
Yeah, too. Can't wait to see this Euron Greyjoy looking motherfucker coming in.
Yeah.
the Crow's Eye, the dwarves. We go to Sauron and Galadriel again, and he's demanding the ring. She takes it, falls off the edge. Actually, I think we already kind of mentioned that. But Glug's going to arrive, and he's like, yo, Sauron, like, things are going bad. The dwarves fucked us over. Like, we're outnumbered. Like, if we stay here, a lot of people are going to die. And before he can even get those words out, Sauron just, like, stabs him right through the gut. Glug's dead, which is good. Fuck that guy. But that's very much like the new regime, like new management. We're on the new management.
Well, it also goes back to what Dar said. He's like, I'd rather have you die being my children than being the children to like.
Slave
That's
to
a
Sauron.
slave to Sauron. That's a prime example right there. The minute that something goes awry, you're dead right on the spot.
Yep.
Right. Yep. Immediately. I told you so.
Yeah.
If you could say it, he'd be on it. Yeah, it's brutal.
If you didn't get glugged.
Glug got glugged. Glug's gonna glug.
Yep.
Right away, these other orcs should be taking around looking notice, though. Like, yo, we fucked up. We fucked up. We're going to see Galadriel. She landed at the fucking mouth of this mountain. I don't know how she lived, but somehow she did, regardless. Let's not question it.
And they're only worried about her stab wounds.
Yep, we're only more. Yep. She just
Despite the
landed
1,000
safely.
foot
At least.
impact.
Yeah, for real, bro. At least 1,000 feet.
I don't think she's gonna be okay
Easy.
from
I
this
think she's
stab.
paralyzed, like from the waist down. Like she can't walk.
She's gonna splatted. But regardless, kind of like we were just talking about, Gil-galad's gonna say that the wounds aren't like just normal wounds, that they're pulling her towards the Wraith world. His ring's not powerful enough to do it by himself. Elrond pulls on the second ring, which obviously I feel like that was, again, kind of obvious. Like, all right, we know this is gonna happen, but my fucking God, Elrond, dude, take fucking more time debating it. Like, this girl's dying in front of you that you supposedly
She's
call
in a different
friend.
realm.
No shit. And he's just like, well,
I have something
pros
to
and
say.
cons list here. Let's see. Like, bro, put the fucking ring on.
Can I have your attention, everyone? I have an announcement.
I've decided to put the second ring on. I will now be putting the second ring on.
Oh my God, I couldn't fucking believe it. But yeah, obviously, so they're gonna save Galadriel, and we're gonna kind of get to our closing here. This is when things are gonna start wrapping up, and we're gonna have a big. It's not gonna go right to the end. But we're gonna get a nice, closing season monologue.
Yep.
Has to be from one of the biggest characters in the show.
Yeah.
Who's gonna do it? It's
Your
gonna
girl.
be Elrond. It's gonna be Durin. Like, it's gonna be
Sauron, something
Galadriel.
evil.
It's gonna be
Fucking Poppy. The goddamn come up from my girl. Oh my God. She got her boo thing this episode. She found the new tribe, and now she's giving season closing monologues. I couldn't have been happier.
The Hobbit orphan has come up. She has arisen.
Fucking references my boy there too from season 1. R.I.P. in peace. Fucking
Burrows.
yeah.
Mr. Burrow.
Dude, he was the man. I fucking love that guy.
Yep.
He was so cool. He was so cool. We're gonna do the, like I said, kind of gonna go bounce around from scene to scene. Elendil, he's made it out. He's safe. The queen's a hostage. Sauron's got Celebrimbor's hammer. That like silver glowy ass fucking hammer.
Yep.
So you have to imagine he's going to use that in the forging of his master ring.
Yeah, probably.
We're gonna see like we're gonna go actually like to Poppy in the stores and shit like that. But she's basically like, I kind of found my place, stranger. Thanks for everything. Continue to do your shit. And a bunch of people are gonna walk out. They're gonna say Grand Elf a bunch of times. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Which right away you're like, oh fuck, like there it is. Yeah. And this was the part that made me sad though. I was like, all right, like Poppy found her place. She got her booth thing, the stores. And then Nori's like, yo, like, if I had it my way, we would go through all these adventures together. And I'm like, yo, what do you mean if you had it your way?
It can't be your way, please.
Yeah, it can be your way. Like, what do you mean? What do you mean? It is your way. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Like, it is your way.
It says Burger King.
Yeah, for real, what the fuck? I hate it. But she's like, nah, I got to go, like, help these stores out because they've never done a migration before. This is going to be their first one. They don't know how to go about it. They're going to need me and Poppy. And that at least made me feel a little bit better. I was like, okay, we know we're gonna go meet back up with the Harfoots, and then somewhere along the line we're gonna get a third clan of hobbits, and then we're all gonna become a big hobbit family. We're gonna form the Shire, and I'm gonna be so in on that entire shit. It's not even funny, and I'm gonna still be cursing and motherfucking Isildur up and down this podcast.
Yep. Yeah, I think I want them to eventually find the Shire. I think that'd be cool. I mean, it's definitely like made up and will piss off lore people, but I think that's a good path for that to take.
Yeah.
But I'm also worried that they might just write it out. They might remove the hobbits and stuff from future seasons.
I refuse to believe that.
Might be the end of the hobbits.
I refuse to believe that.
We'll see.
No.
I could see like a season off kind of deal because there's still
brand.
because they haven't completely closed like any storyline. There's still
no, they're all open.
Except I guess Celebrimbor Wars, but
just the
main storylines are all still there. So you gotta branch off until you like you said, if you thought you were gonna get mad at Isildur, like
taking screen time from my fucking people. Yeah, no, I already know. I'm sitting here shaking my head because I know it's gonna happen.
But I could see like a season off kind of deal. But maybe I don't think a whole show. I hope I'm wrong.
They're gonna be doing some case studies in between seasons here. So
there's no way that they were like, all right, we're not gonna do the Hobbits because this is like however many thousands of years earlier. We're gonna have the Harfoots, but then we're gonna introduce another branch called the Stores, and they
get 6 episodes and then it's over. Yeah.
There's no way. They're going to find the third clan somewhere along this migration. They're going to yell like, yo, my fucking Nori's going to reunite with her parents. Nori's going to be the queen of the first Shire ever. And Poppy's going to be like her hand. And I'm going to be really happy about it.
I like it.
All right.
I'm rooting for that as well.
Sold.
I'm going to push the goddamn Hobbit storyline so hard until people just have to accept it. I love them. I love them so much.
They make your heart sing.
They do. They really, really do. They just make me happy. Like I watch them on screen and they just make me happy.
Yeah.
They're just simpletons. I love it. And they're just so sweet. They're just so sweet. I am a simpleton. But Nori walks away. No hug or anything, which that kind of did make me sad. Yeah. But the stranger starts to walk away to head down his own path. And sure enough, he comes across his staff. And for the people that have watched Lord of the Rings a bunch of times, you'll realize right away that the top of it, you're like, oh shit, like that's the staff.
Yep.
So he's going to pick that bitch up and we're going to go back to Bombadil, a character that we all liked very much. And sure enough, this is what Seth was talking about. This was time for your victory lap, isn't
Nailed
it?
it. Nailed it.
Yeah.
Nailed it.
The test that was given last week, friends or power, you said he was supposed to choose friends.
That was his last test, was to go to the friends, yeah.
And that's exactly what it was.
Chose his friends, gets the power.
Said it verbatim. He was like, this is literally like, I was meant to choose friendship. And Bombadil was just like, hell yeah, bro.
I think I said that last week verbatim.
Yeah, I think you did.
Nailed
it. You absolutely nailed it. You deserved that victory lap. That was great. As soon as it happened on the show, it was the first thing I thought of right away. I was like, oh, wow. I was like,
yeah, hit that
nailed
one.
that.
Yep.
Good for you. Bombadil's like, yeah, he gets his name too. And then Gandalf's just like, Gandalf. That's what they're going to call me, right? And then Bombadil goes, great line, though. He goes, now the song begins. And I'm like, ooh.
Yeah, very cool.
So you mentioned that you see the stars overhead in this?
Yeah, so they start singing together. He's like, let's sing. And they start doing that goofy song.
And it
zooms out of the window, and then out of like the other window, and then looks up at the stars. And then it looks back down again, and it's on the Dark Wizard, who's also looking at the stars.
Yes, that's a good call. Okay, now that you say that, I do see that. Yep. I kind of missed that in a way, but now that you say that, I got you.
I gotta see the symbol again. See if it was 5 stars or not.
Yeah.
You might be on something.
I've never really noticed a pattern that I.
It almost looks
can
like
recognize.
I remember kind of
It's
like an
just
arrow kind of deal. Like
Yeah.
it almost looked like an arrow.
I don't know. It seemed like triangular near the end.
I thought of it almost like an R.
Yeah.
Like the triangle, like the R was like triangular, like Luke just said.
Yeah. That's weird.
So Golden 5 then.
Yeah, I don't know. We could be right or wrong. Like you just said about the goofy song thing, I was just like, so obviously they're like singing it together, so they both know it. In the song, it's Tom Bombadil's name. I was like, wow, this guy's playing it off like he's like this little hippie, like I'm Earth. This fucking narcissistic motherfucker is making songs with his own
Ballad of
goddamn-
Bombadil.
and he's teaching it to other people. He's like, yo, you know what? We're gonna sing a song about me and how fucking awesome I am.
This is really a final test. You have to sing the song with me.
Dude, what the fuck?
Your final test.
My God.
You have to sing the Ballad of Bombadil.
It was crazy. Especially, like, I was like, all right, this is a weird song. And then they literally go, like, Tom Bombadil's like, yo, this egotistical motherfucker.
He's singing his theme song.
No shit. I was like, that's crazy. Pep
I
Guardiola.
hope that's not the last of Bombadil.
I hope not
I don't
either.
know, like, to what capacity.
But I could see
he'll
him
be
not
in,
coming back, to be honest.
I would
see.
I would like more Bombadil.
I mean, he comes back in the books in Lord of the Rings, and I saw in a video that this little chill session with Bombadil is actually 2 years long. But Gandalf spends with him. Yeah.
Goodness
Doesn't
gracious.
know they're doing that
He
here.
overstayed his welcome.
No shit.
I'll go over at the end of this how much everything's been compressed. So I don't think the 2 years can be accounted for, but
Okay. Let's try to wrap for this then. Cause of Doom, the last place we're going to need. We already kind of hinted at it. Durin's like, yeah, anybody that needs aid, which is funny. The Balrog's alive. We hint at Durin not being the first choice for succession and that his brother is gaining support. So that's a big thing. And then the last thing is that he looks, after he hears that, he looks over at the rings and he's kind of staring at them. So it's like, what is he going to do? He already promised Disa that he wouldn't use them. Disa's in the room. So unless she has a change of heart, it's like, I don't know.
it seemed like they all had that same look. Like, I think we have to.
Yeah.
I don't know. It seemed like they all were on the same page. Like,
Well,
how do we
like
not use this?
like his like open invitation, I think is his way of saying if somebody does come, like, hey, listen, this is the bigger thing that's going on. Hopefully, I would like to see whatever his brother is. I don't want to just see like an evil brother. I would like to see him come there and like now his army's forming up with Durin against the Balrog. You know what I mean?
Ooh, I like that. Yeah.
Like whoever it is that's coming in that takes this open invitation, it's really just to help them take down the Balrog.
I got you. I don't hate it. I just would like to see Durin square off with his brother in a very like brotherly like.
Or imagine like an evil Disa.
Bully,
Imagine like he comes with like a Disa, like an evil version of
Yeah.
Disa.
With a bigger beard.
They have a sing off.
I almost think of it like Step Brothers, like when fucking what's his name shows up and he's fucking Will Ferrell. He's just like, "Hey, Durin," he like gives him a noogie.
Like farts on his head, like pull my finger.
Brandon has a vagina.
Let's see, and then I think the last pretty much, we close out with Galadriel. She's fucking wakes up, or like the rings healed her or whatever, and they're all hanging by a river, the remaining people. And Gil-galad's like, yo, either have to attack or defend. Sauron's army's on the run. What do you want to do? And she's like, hey, for the first time, she's like, let's not go all out attack. Like, let's pull back, Celebrimbor, this, that, the other thing. And then we're like, all right, fucking Gil-galad pulls out his sword. And again, we're like on the river. So it's just like, we're gonna form something new. And it's like, little on the nose, huh?
Yeah.
You guys are kind of the Grand Elf thing. It was kind of almost the same thing. It's like, you guys are really, really like on the nose there, huh? We're not really coming up with any creativity down the road.
Nope, it's Rivendell.
There's a
Rivendell
river.
Beach.
We're here, Rivendell, baby.
Yep. But hey, I mean that is always considered like a protected land and stuff, and yeah, I really wasn't. I was kind of confused by her answer, saying like,
Light in the dark.
yeah, like let's listen to what Celebrimbor said. Let's be the light in the dark, which I assumed meant like let's defend and rebuild. But then, like you said, Gil-galad pulled out his sword and everybody's like jacked up.
Yeah, I thought we was going right back out. I thought we were going right back out there
So
when he
I
did that. Yeah.
I think they're gonna build Rivendell, but I was just confused by Gil-galad.
Yeah, I thought that was kind of like
Like here.
we might
cheers.
be, yeah, like we might have lost a lot of people, but like we're still here and like we're gonna grow again.
We'll use our swords
Like,
to
we're
chop
gonna
down these
fucking
trees, not
grow
to
again.
take out the enemy.
You're right.
Most of the people he was talking to were like not soldiers; they were like fucking commoners. You know? What
No,
I
it's like
mean?
the women and children that
Right.
Galadriel was trying to save earlier.
Right. basically kind of just being like, yo,
Definitely not equipped.
This
Not
ain't-
equipped
this-
to go right back out there.
no,
That's for sure.
for sure not. This ain't the end of us though. This ain't the end of us. We'll be back.
This ain't over.
We'll be back. But that pretty much wraps up the finale, which was a great finale, I thought, by all accounts. I thought the penultimate episode and the finale were both really, really good. I thought the last 2 hours of the show was fucking awesome.
Yeah, I agree. Very good. Powerful ending. Set up a ton of stuff. Bounced around at a good pace, like hitting every storyline. And like you mentioned earlier, we had 3 big deaths, like quick.
And there's still no shortage of storylines.
Yep. Yeah, I think it's really, really well done. Excited for next season.
Yeah.
I like the building of the map, too. Like, we kind of already hinted at that, too. But I like that it seems like we're going to be developing Gondor and Rohan and the Shire and Rivendell. We're literally building the map that we know from Game of
And you got
Thrones,
Khazad Dûm.
from Lord of
And the
Rings.
ones you already know about.
Yeah.
There's now stories within there. You know,
Right.
Khazad Dûm.
Right.
know.
The places that we do know, here are the actual things
This is-
that are happening that we
yeah.
didn't get to see. Like, here's the Balrog and shit like
It's
that.
so like both 2 seasons are so awesome.
Yeah.
I think the first one from start to finish was more like impactful or better.
I like the first season.
But I think like the episodes, if you were to tell me like what are some of my favorite episodes from
They'd be from
overall,
season two.
it'd be from season
I get what
2.
you're saying. Yeah,
But I
totally
think the
feel
whole stretch of season 1 was better.
I feel you.
But 2 had better individual episodes.
Yeah, like the Hallbrand and Galadriel run in the first seasons, like it's really, really good.
Yeah.
Where
From
like,
start to finish.
yeah. I feel like obviously, like
Yeah,
I
Durin
really liked
teaming
the
up with
Sauron.
too.
Yep, that
You
was
know,
good.
like
I liked the Sauron Celebrimbor shit, but like they were very much like in that forge for the entire season. Like that's what they did
Yeah.
for the entire. And again, don't get me wrong, I enjoyed it, but they were very much like almost in one room for almost the entire season of the show.
Yep. Right, which kind of has been dragging on us with Numenor too. They're just all kind of chatting in that throne room. It's like the whole
True.
thing.
True.
I'm the rightful heir. No, I'm the rightful heir.
Yeah.
Like that's it.
Yeah, there's a new scroll to read. Oh,
New scroll to read.
no, everything's changed.
I would say there was like episode 3. I remember because it was a 3-part premiere. Episode 3 I did not care for, and then I think 4 I didn't like at all, and then I think 5 I was like, yeah. So I remember liking 1 and 2 a lot though. So I feel like it started and ended like really, really good. Like 1, 2, 7, 8, I really, really, really liked. I think I remember liking 6 a lot too. What was fucking 6?
Yeah.
It definitely got
put it
better
off my
as
head
it went
enough,
on
so-
too. Yeah. I also admittedly was like pulling how you are with Penguin and didn't watch the first like four episodes.
Yeah.
So by the time I actually did get to it, I had to just rip through 4 episodes. So it was,
Yep.
wasn't able to like digest it as much. So maybe through a rewatch, but
This show always plays good in a rewatch, I think.
yeah,
I obviously I can't speak for season 2, but I know season 1 did, and I'm gonna at some point rewatch season 2. And it'll be like in a
it's another
binge.
2 years before season 3 comes out. I think.
Probably.
Yeah, which they I think it was like 3 or 4 days ago already. They said that Amazon was very close to greenlighting the 3rd season, but then I never saw an official announcement yet. I don't know. I mean, I know they're planning for 5 seasons, and like I said, Amazon's close to doing the 3rd. I just didn't see an official announcement on it yet. But that's kind of weird. Every day that passes that there isn't one is kind of strange.
Are we breaking the official announcement right now? Right
Oh,
here
no.
on this
Yeah.
podcast?
We have some breaking news.
We gotta see if I missed it or something. But
I mean, I'll be fucking furious if they don't. I'll tell you that
that'd be
much.
awful. What will be happening? There's no like official.
Don't do this.
Yeah, I don't
No,
know.
they would not cut it. I think it got good enough reviews here.
Amazon's plugged
They
a
made enough
bunch
money.
of fucking money into this goddamn thing, so I'd be shocked for them to end it now with all these open questions and all these open storylines. But like you kind of said, I feel like everything kind of left off like in a very good place. Like Gandalf's got his name and his fucking staff. The Balrog is very much a fucking problem.
Yeah.
Sauron is Sauron. Like he's got his fucking crown.
Now he's
got
doing his
fucking
own thing.
So he's
army.
expanding with the army across some other elven named place. I don't remember.
I would have to imagine that his season 3 storyline is going to be basically like him getting back to Mordor and then the forging of his one ring by himself.
Yeah, and maybe passing out the 9 rings of men too.
Ooh, yeah. Okay, so yes, I could see that too. Yeah. Maybe like the first half of the season is him forging the fucking ring, and then the second half is
Yep.
Or even maybe vice versa. Maybe he starts with the 9 men. Maybe he starts going around to hand those out, and then he goes and forges.
I gotta
his own at
focus
the
on
end.
making my own. Like,
Right.
you guys take this.
Yeah, maybe something like that. I would ideally like to see him go to Casa Doom. Like I said, I'd love to see that. I don't want to see the end of Durin, but I wouldn't mind if fucking Sauron rolls through Casa Doom and just fucks up the dwarves and like unleashes the Balrog. I'd be like, oh fuck,
Balrog makes Mount Doom.
Well, anything's possible. They're smashing the years together here. It's supposed to be more spread out, but
Yeah, you were
they-
just
they don't
saying that,
smush
right?
it.
The timelines smashed together, which makes
Yeah.
sense. But.
I looked into it just to get a little bit more bearing on how much they're doing, because that's what people are mostly mad about. But so the ring was made in 1600, Second Age.
Yep.
The Battle of Eregion is 110 years after that, so that already happened
Okay.
before the ring was even made. Isildur takes the ring, freaking 1731 years after that. So Isildur does,
After that,
Yeah.
wow.
Isildur does not
Holy
exist for a long
shit.
time.
What?
Yeah, and then that becomes year 1 of the Third Age.
Jesus Lord have mercy.
The Balrog doesn't ruin Casa Doom for 1,980 years after Isildur takes the ring,
I'm sorry?
which is 3,580 years after the creation of the One Ring.
What?
And it's done by Durin the Sixth. Is
The 6th? That's it?
well, because
Are they on like the 4th?
they are, but I was
But
telling you last
they're
time.
like 500 years old.
They're supposed to be
apiece.
like reincarnated. It's like it's
Oh,
not
that's right.
actually
Yeah,
like
yeah,
passing
yeah.
the name down. It's like once a new dwarf king is born who like has the same characteristics of Durin, he's now named the reincarnation of Durin.
Good Lord have mercy.
Like, so that's where people are just a little bit stressed
But when
out.
you explain it like that, it
Dude,
makes me
stressed out,
appreciate
no
the show
shit.
that much more.
Yeah,
though.
no kidding.
The
What are
fact
we
that they're
supposed to
able
do?
to tie it along that
Right, it's
this
pretty
well
well done. And
Imagine
I'm
if-
okay with it, but that's where
What
people are
are they supposed to do? Just put a 2,000 years later
That's
thing
what
at
I
the
was just
bottom of
gonna
the
say.
thing? Dash, dash, dash.
I was gonna say, you remember watching fucking the first season of House of the Dragon? They're like, yo, we did like a fucking 4-year time jump. Like, what the fuck? Like, these people are way older. Imagine me, like you just said, 3,226 years. in the future.
2,000 years later.
Right.
What the hell?
Right, you'd be killing off main characters every episode just to advance the story.
Going
No
back
shit.
and forth, like time hopping too.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Nah.
So they had to do a lot, but
Yeah.
it is
They're pulling it off.
3,500 years of
That's
of
crazy.
things getting smushed.
That's crazy. I mean, I don't even know how you can be mad about that. Like, what
No,
are we
right.
realistically supposed to do here? This is
Yeah.
Yeah.
Read the fucking book then.
for real. Right, yeah.
Read the book.
You're working with fake numbers.
Yeah,
You're
read the book.
you're just using fake numbers
Read the
at this
book.
point.
Right. It's really a reflection of all these immortal people. Right.
Right,
Where
yeah, yeah,
1,000 years is nothing,
Yeah.
so they don't do a lot. And
We got 8 episodes a season. Remember, like we're
Not in a
cramming
rush.
this in.
Just like 600 years and then just chilling, doing the exact same thing every day. Just like, oh, we're going to go fight someday.
Yeah. Oh, shit. 10 years just went by. Fuck. That was quick.
Blink of an eye. Well, Darren says that it's in the first season. He's like fucking, what is it, like 20 years? He's like, 20 years might be a short time for an elf, but he's like, you missed my marriage. I had 2 kids. Fucking this, that, and the other
Right.
thing.
It's true.
Fucking elves.
Live the whole life.
Yeah, exactly. Which is like dwarves live long, but they're not like fucking. No, they live like kind of like. Didn't you say like the Numenorians were like 200 years or something like that? Isn't that kind of like the same thing for dwarves? Give
I
or
think
take.
they are longer than humans. I'm not sure the exact.
Okay.
But yeah, I think so, because a lot of the dwarves that were with Bilbo were still alive when Frodo was also taking the ring and stuff too.
We're alive.
Yeah, there's one of them at the council.
Oh shit.
Yeah. Let me see how
What a
old
fucking
Frodo-
loser! Just like not speaking up at all, just fucking sitting there with a thumb up his ass.
You got something to say.
Yeah. Gimli's like, yo,
If
I'll
only we
fucking
knew
go
so.
do it. And he's just sitting there like, nah, I've seen this story before, bro. I'm good.
If only we had somebody with experience.
Well, that's
talk
what Gimli.
about it.
Gimli's like his nephew or something.
Gimli, the guy that's at the council, you're saying?
Yeah.
I got
So
you.
he's like an old dude. He's like, oh, he's my son Gimli.
I got you. I got you.
Can represent. But yeah, all right, dwarves 250.
Hey, you see that?
yeah.
Look at that.
There you go.
There you go. Let's see. Was there anything else? I guess like I was a little disappointed by the lack of the Balrog, but then they hit hard. So that's kind of like I said last week. I think it kind of seems like the Balrog's going to be like almost like the big evil of the show. Not more so than Sauron, but different, very different from Sauron.
Yeah.
I want different people coming together to cause a doom for that reason.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool if they just bring a bunch of characters there, like for the end of the last. Imagine that season 5. They're like, all right, we got a bunch of characters that you all care about.
It's like the White Walker,
Doom,
like White Walkers kind of deal. You know what I mean?
Only the White Walkers win.
Right.
Balrog just lights them all.
Yeah, right.
That's kind of a cool thing about the Balrog is that it is not affiliated with Sauron. Really, he's just
a
separate evil. Like who knows what his purpose is or like what he's trying to do.
But if they combine those two evils,
if he's just
seems like he'd be more. Seems like he's almost more connected to like the wizardry, like Gandalf and Sauron and this dark guy, like,
servant of the shadow.
Yeah. Let's see. Is there anything else we wanted to mention from the fucking season 2 review? Arendir's alive. That sucks. We spent very little time with the Isildur. That was awesome. Theo even less time. That was better. We gonna see more of the Ents?
I hope we do. It seems like I said, they had that hint that in Paragir they're gonna be chopping down a bunch of trees, and that shouldn't be a big deal, should it? Like he looks at Isildur, like the guy who just met a bunch of Ents last episode.
And rips Commodus in half.
Yeah. I did want to say that I think this season was better than the first one, personally. I enjoyed it a little bit more. I like both.
I think they're close.
I think I gave it like an 8.6 the first one. I think this one would be more like a 9. Like I thought.
Yeah, that's what you're rocking.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, they're both good.
Yeah, no, I enjoyed them a lot.
It's like A versus A minus, whatever one you're picking, you know.
I'm a little bit lower, but yeah, I'll probably like B+ and B.
Okay.
I'd say probably around there. Yeah, but no, I mean, I enjoy. For me, I think the biggest thing is that just is like there's weird little like plot holes and things that just don't sync up at all, and it's just like even like I said with the Arondir thing, it's like this guy just got stabbed in the chest and no one's mentioning it. He's got no gape. Like we ended the episode with him getting stabbed in the chest. That's how we ended the episode. It was like a big thing. Like I got the ring now. I stabbed you. You're dead. And it's like big thing. And the next episode,
he had no heroic return or anything.
Nothing. Just like back in the fighting scheme. Like that shit's like coming. Some of the shit that I'm just like, this is like.
I bet they're gonna try to just say Gil-galad healed him with the ring or whatever, or they'll do like one sentence next season. Thanks for
healing me.
Yeah, for real. Just rubbing my chest just real quick and bring me back to life. Thanks.
For real. You liked that one more. We went the other way. Is there anything else? Anything else we want from this season?
No.
Yeah, more episodes.
Good. Yeah.
I could do another 4 to 6 episodes of this season. This season.
Done too. The thing is though, is like we kind of just said though, like they left off in a perfect place. So it's almost like I don't know, like we do 2 more episodes and then we're where. I feel like where we left off is a very very nice spot.
Yeah.
With almost all of the story.
It's
like,
more
everything's
good.
It's
the product and the storyline.
I get
the product's so good that I could.
Yeah, you want more episodes.
Another 4 to 6 episodes
I hear
easily.
You. I hear you. 2 more years. Another probably like right around 2 years from now.
Pending
It
strikes.
ain't 250. It ain't 250.
Yeah,
right.
for sure.
2 years might be nothing to an elf.
Yeah. To a mortal man, it's forever.
I think that's all I got for this season.
Rapid, baby.
Great season, great episode. Good way to finish. It was a strong finish. I think that's good. A lot of shows can't finish strong, and this one I thought did. Penultimate was really good, and the finale was really good. So, if that's going to be it, yes?
Yeah.
Boys, thank you very much for helping out the last few episodes of the whole season and all of that.
Of course.
Thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this season. I hope you guys have enjoyed this summer with the show. Like I said, we're going to be slowing down a little bit, but still going to be banging some stuff out. I'm looking forward to a nice little break. But
next time.
I am tired. But I'm looking forward to getting back to Middle-earth. We got a movie coming in December. I'm looking forward to that. The Rohirrim. It's going to be a nice little animated movie. It's going to be in theaters. I'm excited for it.
Oh, yeah.
So that's something else I'll put on a review of. We'll, if you go see it too, we'll fucking come in here. We'll talk about that in December.
Yeah.
But then we'll see you guys in a couple of years for more Rings of Power. You know what I mean?
In a couple of years.
See you in a couple
We're
of years.
taking a long rest.
For more Rings of Power. Happy watching as always, guys. Thanks for listening.
That's it.